everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Feels like I haven't been able to do a reading for a minute. Thank you for being here today. Couple quick announcements. For those of you that would like to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Blue Sky, Natalie H Astrology on Blue Sky. I do post there quite a bit. Rants, astrology, things about the world, what's going on, various thoughts in my head. And oh boy, have there been a lot lately. And for those of you looking for a personal reading, you can certainly request a tarot reading, personal private tarot reading with me, or a natal chart reading with me. Details for how to request are in the description box below. And in today's reading, we are going to talk about releasing old karma. Definitely a topic that has been coming up in conversation around me recently. So we will go ahead and pick a goddess today. And the first goddess I have here is Isis. If you're feeling the goddess Isis, you'll choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have Green Terra. If you're feeling this image of Green Terra, you'll choose pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have the goddess Diana. And if you're feeling her image or her energy, then you will go ahead and choose pile number 3. And I'll have the timestamps in the description box below. How has everybody been doing? I know I've been I feel like I've been on an emotional roller coaster with the entire TikTok ban thing. I don't have an account there, but I do watch videos and follow certain people that I like following over there. And it kind of does feel like it's a community over there. I mean, YouTube, we also have a community here, but I really do feel for those creators who worked so hard, put their work out there, and then just were having the platform taken away from them. And anyway, and I know it came back later today, but the whole situation is quite messy, and it definitely has been weighing pretty heavy on me. In my 44 years on this planet, I've never seen the US outlaw a social media and then bring it back and all this kind of stuff. It's definitely a little bit scary, and I know that tomorrow is a big change as well. And I am talking about it on my Blue Sky account. Like I told you, you can find me Natalie H Astrology there. And the Pluto in Aquarius will be making its annual conjunction with the sun tomorrow. And the whole Pluto in Aquarius on top of the sun in Aquarius, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it feels really, really loud. The Pluto in Aquarius feels extremely loud right now, and in conjunction with the sun on Trump's inauguration, it feels very, very loud right now. So for those of you who are, worried and stuff about the future, I stand with you, and it has been deeply affecting me too. So I thought that this would be a good time to do a reading to help kind of clear the clutter of our minds and our lives, and go ahead and try to release some old karma that we may be kind of dragging along with us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin with pile number 1. And I'll ring my little bell. Okay. Okay, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose Isis, and today's reading is called Releasing Old Karma, and we are here to let go of some old baggage today, pile number 1, okay? We are really trying to make space in our hearts for bigger, better things, okay? We're wanting to clear clutter. Springtime will be here before we know it, and we definitely want to get into that mindset of clearing clutter. So let's go ahead and begin. In pile number 1, I'm going to get all the cards out. Oop, there's the Knight of Wands. So perhaps and there's the Knight of Wands again. Perhaps some of you have some karma with a Leo. from the past that you want to clear, or perhaps you have Leo in your chart, or fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay? But let's go ahead and I'm going to get all the cards out and then we'll tap into your reading, okay? So Spirit, show me releasing old karma for pile number 1, please. Let's release, okay, that felt, go. The Knight of Swords, Aquarius energy, the Wheel of Fortune, opening up minds, having the, ooh, we have the Three of Swords, okay. And then we have the World card on the bottom of the deck. And let's go ahead and pull the rest here. We have Libra, balance, okay. We have Vesta and Hearth. Something about there needing to be balance in the home and people constantly running away or constantly traveling or constantly being gone or leaving someone's life all the time or wanting to run away or wanting to escape one's life and one's pain is kind of what I'm getting so far. Pile number 1, wanting to escape one's life and to escape the pain. We have here no good ones, okay? There is someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out. And that's coming out under the Three of Swords. You know, in life, people get distracted really easily. They get pulled in a lot of different directions very easily. And they, especially in relationships with Libra coming up here, people are very flighty and superficial, and people are constantly going for the grass is greener, or thinking that the grass is greener, and always thinking that there is sometimes like a better option out there than what's at home. And that can make us feel really heartbroken and alone and feel like there's no good people left in this life, you know? And it's really hard to keep faith alive or keep the home fires burning when we are in love with someone who's never around or never home or is constantly leaving us, or the grass is always greener, there's always something better. Okay, so pile number 1, perhaps you're needing to clear out some energy regarding that. And we have cauldron, intention, alchemy, and manifestation. Okay, alchemy is when we put two energies together, right? When we put two souls together, when we put two people together in this cauldron of life, what do we get? What kind of magic does it make? Okay, what kind of container have we built around our relationships? Okay, and we have here explore feelings, delve into insecurities and unresolved emotions. We need authentic closure and peace. Okay, and we need peace in our we need safety. I feel like with Vesta here, we need safety and peace, and we need a container to put our passion, drive, and energy into, okay? And sometimes it can feel like our feelings are like a cauldron of feelings just getting ready to kind of bubble over, all right? And perhaps there's a need to find a safe container for feelings, find a way to explore feelings in a authentic way. We have compulsive behaviors. Yeah, running away or going somewhere else and some people do that, right? Like their heart is broken and they are very unhappy with their life. And so they run away or they lose themselves in study or learning, which isn't a bad thing. But what are we doing, right, to balance our energy out? What are we doing to balance our energy out here? And this compulsive behavior is coming under this No Good Ones card. And it says, identify your internal feelings. What are you looking to control or feel for the moment? Yeah, because I just want to feel good in this moment because my heart is broken. Or I just can't sit still. I just can't stay in one place and deal with my emotions or balance my energy because I'm going fucking stir crazy and I need to get the F out of here. And I have a hard time sitting still in one place because that means I have to deal with the mental and emotional pain that has been knocking at my door, and I don't want to deal with that. I want to run away from that, okay? So I feel like perhaps some of you have been dealing with those emotions of not wanting to face the pain and wanting to run in the other direction. And what are you looking to control or feel for the moment? I want to feel good in the moment, but my heart knows that this is bad for me or this isn't going to end well. Okay, and the big thing is, how do we, with Vesta and Libra here, how do we sustain a relationship and keep the fire going when people are always having a short attention span and always looking for something better and always hurting each other? Okay, and with the Three Swords, we could be talking about third party or situations where there's always another person involved, or getting involved with someone means that we have to break someone else's heart, or this type of stuff. And compulsively chasing things that we think are good for us but in the end up hurting us. Perhaps this is where you guys are like, yeah, I do want to explore my feelings around emotions, and I want to focus on the things that I'm doing to basically shoot myself in the foot, or I want to focus on the things that I'm doing that are not helpful as far as finding like a balanced, contained, sustaining relationship, or even just people to relate to socially, friendships, intimate relationships, friendships. Libra is a very social energy. So how to sustain that energy, right? Because at the beginning with the Wheel of Fortune, it seems like everything is possible. Anything can happen. And we're very pumped up and excited, Knight of Swords, okay? Because everything looks wow, and we're like supercharged, right? But then it ends up where it's like, okay, it goes in a direction that we don't expect, and then we find ourselves feeling left or hurt or heartbroken. So pile number one, definitely, wanting to release some old karma around these issues for sure. Yeah, we have twin flames here, yin and yang, union, duality, coupling. Okay, but here's something, I think with the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords, we can get up in our head really quickly about something, and we can start falling for someone really, really fast. But, we got to be, with Libra showing up here, we need to balance our perspective, right? And we need to find a way that we can explore our feelings without going haywire. Do you know what I'm saying, pile number one? And it's really hard because you feel really excited and really happy because you feel like you and another person really complement each other and that it could really go somewhere. But then, that chapter closes and it's over and there's pain and heartbreak. Okay, but if we keep kind of running after the same high, or we keep chasing the same thing, that's when we're coming down to these compulsive behaviors. Like, I want to feel good and happy and excited about the future in the moment, even though I know this isn't good for me mentally. Okay, and there's a need to move past those behaviors. With the World card, it's like, okay, we're going to put some boundaries here. We're not going to keep doing this to ourselves. We have higher consciousness coming through here. We have the Pleiades, the Arcturians, and Sirius, okay? So pile number one, if you feel, and here's the thing, I feel like you guys do connect to a higher consciousness, and you are very aligned with Palladian energy, Arcturus, serious. Some of you here could be highly, highly connected to these energies. But I also feel, and you love exploring information. Perhaps some of you here with the Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, you love exploring information about the cosmic gateway, aliens, Palladians, the blue light, Arcturus, right? Perhaps you guys even feel that you channel that energy in a way, okay? And some of you are a channel for higher consciousness, pile number one, okay? But we really, it's really hard for you to focus in on like the Palladian energy, the Arcturian energy, to kind of like channel that energy, ground it and anchor it into the earth plane when you're in a cycle of compulsive behavior, okay? Or when you're like really, really excited in the moment, even though you may feel like you're moving too fast or something is going too fast, okay? And perhaps some of you are realizing that you're not in a good position to be channeling higher consciousness or higher energy when you are in a cycle of twin flame or in a cycle of compulsive behaviors, right? Because we need to find a way to explore our feelings for someone or something without going overboard or without exaggerating it or taking it to extremes. We need to find some type of container, intention and container for our feelings, and a way to, and talking about karma, particularly with, I mean, I can't believe it's looking me right in the face, pile number one. I mean, literally, we are talking about karma. Excuse me, and I took a drink there in your pile. And here are the scales, all right? The scales of justice, which of course is karma. Like, hello. I can't believe I didn't even think of that, pile number one. I'm just like seeing it now. But when your relationships are very balanced and grounded and focused and not just trying to kind of feel good in the present moment or chase a high when it comes to relationships, when you have a really solid contained base, and you have the safety to explore your feelings in a calm manner, in a calm and rational manner, because Libra is a very calm and rational sign when it's in balance, okay? When you have that interchange going on between you and a partner, or just even you and higher consciousness, right? And maybe some of you feel that you have a twin flame, or you have a partner that actually exists in higher consciousness that isn't actually on the earth plane, and it breaks your heart that this person isn't here, because you know that it would be like a perfect melding of the minds and melding of the hearts and all of that, and that having the ability to explore those feelings would be very exciting, but also potentially dangerous, right? Because I mean, there's like a danger of getting, sometimes, we have to ask ourselves with the World card, are we headed to an ending that is going to hurt, or are we headed to like a grounded, mature, based in reality perspective, right? And I get that feeling of feeling like, there's someone else for you that actually isn't here on the earth plane, and that you are connected to Pallades or Arcturus, etc., and connected to the blue flame, the purple flame, etc., and that there is a higher consciousness that you could actually fall in love with, or even feel very balanced and good with, right? But we know what happens when we take it too far, though, right? So that is some of the old karma, becoming more conscious of how twin flame energy affects you. Now, I know not everyone even likes that concept, right? Like some people prefer soulmates. I know I do, pile number one, but just, how does really falling hard and deeply and getting super excited, you know, feeling like the sky's the limit, Wheel of Fortune, right? Feeling that energy only to be disappointed, right? And this feeling of there's no good ones left. But Spirit is saying there is someone out there for you. Don't let this false belief make you miss out on love, okay? So let's go ahead and see. We have Seahorse, watch and wait. I love that. Okay. And the Seahorse is calm. All right. And, you know, the Nine of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune is an energy of going after something with a lot of vigor and excitement and very progressively pursuing something quickly, right? And Spirit is saying, watch and wait, be calm, be patient. Okay, and if you're trying to connect with higher consciousness beyond this plane and you are trying to channel, then be very conscious and aware of, you know, yin and yang, the need to have balance. Like Libra is a sign of balance, and it says balance here, right? Duality in everything. All right, union, balance, yin and yang, zen, right? A partnership that feels really balanced should help put you into a zen, a calm state of zen flow. Pile number one, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is exciting, and you do feel that rush of excitement, but ultimately the relationship should lead to I feel like I'm channeling right now. I'm closing my eyes, pile number one, and I feel really calm and chill and relaxed. And that's kind of where I feel like the information starts to really come through for you. It's exciting to learn and discover new things and new people. But if you're trying to work with higher consciousness, it does help to be calm and to take a step back, okay? And then we have solar plexus chakra. So perhaps there is some karmic work around the solar plexus that needs to be done, maybe through Reiki, energy healing, okay? But there is something here about the solar, the solar plexus is our willpower and our ability to shine and feel proud about who we are and not be afraid to be empowered in our life, whether we have someone in our life or not. And the frequency of the solar plexus chakra supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. And in this compulsive chasing of others, where the grass is always greener and we're living for the moment, we can sometimes forget who we are and why we're here. And let me just say, pile number one, a true partner is never going to lead you into that. A true partner is going to hold space for who you are and what your contribution is in this lifetime. And they're not going to panic and throw a fit and act crazy when you're just trying to explore who you are and find out who you are on a deeper level. Okay, and the solar plexus chakra is when we need to start feeling more secure in who we are and stop panic chasing others, whether that is others panic chasing you or you them. At the end of the day, it just leads to heartbreak. And what we need is we need creative, calm focus to get into that state of higher consciousness where we can actually see the possibilities and be excited for the future again. So pile number one, that is what I am getting for you. I'm rubbing my hands together to give you some magic, pile number one. And that is what I'm getting for you, my dears. I hope that that reading resonated. And do let me know in the comments below how you felt about that reading and if it hit home for you. So pile number one, thank you for being here. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose green Terra, and your message today is Supreme Protection. And I love this beautiful card, and I love green Terra. I had to choose her today. Pile number 2 is one of the representatives for the pile. Anyway, I've been looking at a lot of pictures and photos of like the beautiful landscapes of Asia and China and stuff. And anyway, I just needed to pick green Terra today. So I hope you guys are happy with your choice as well. And pile number 2, we are going to be talking about releasing old karma. Okay. So pile number 2, we're going to get the cards out. And then we're going to talk. All right. We're going to sit down and talk. For pile number 2, what can you show me about old karma that pile number... all right. There it is. We have the Page of Wands. We have the 6 of Coins. Ooh, I like that. And we have the 2 of Cups. I love this deck. It's so multicultural. And I mean, here we have, I think this is Goddess Saraswati in the Indian tradition. And then, I don't know who this is depicted here, but we have an African-American male. And then we have 2 very unique looking like African statues kind of staring each other down there. Very, very cool deck. Anyway, I just wanted to say, perhaps you guys are very into multicultural things, or you come from different places all over the world. Namaste, pile number 2. And let's go ahead. And this to me is about a happy flow, okay? And I also am just getting something intuitive about if you had a hard time sticking with something in the past, or you had a hard time finishing things in the past, then I feel like we're releasing some of that old karma around, being late, not finishing things on time, success, feeling, because you can be successful in life and still feel like you're not there yet, or still feel like there's all these things you have left to do, and that you're never, you can still, even if you have a lot of success, you can not really feel it, So pile number 2, let's talk about this energy, okay? And I feel you guys are very good at taking care of multiple things and keeping your commitments to people, but maybe in the past, it wasn't like that, or maybe in the past it didn't feel that way. I already feel you guys have released a lot of karma already, pile number 2, but let's go ahead and get into it. We have Saturn. Yeah, exactly. I feel like you guys have done a lot of work around, being taken seriously, growing up, committing to the things that you start, like not just starting a bunch of things and never finishing them. I feel like you guys have really worked on this, pile number 2, or you're about to start working on it, or it's a big deal for you. And we have Saturn showing up in your reading, so definitely karma, 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 okay? And we have the Imam Chali here, which is the root. It's related to the very bottom point in our chart. It basically is fixed to midnight. So it represents the deep, dark part of our chart. Perhaps maybe some of you have Saturn in the 4th house. Okay. I also feel there is something with this Page of Wands about being able to express yourself creatively and be yourself creatively, which maybe wasn't allowed in your family. I also feel there is deep karma with your family, and a deep need in your family to release karma around heaviness, depression, pain, anger at not being able to, have what you need in order to be successful, feeling left out, feeling poisoned from having uplifting, happy flow in your life, right? And maybe that wasn't a thing in your family. Now, pile number 2, I wasn't getting really family stuff in pile number 1, but I am getting some, and like I said, some of you may have Saturn in the 4th. You may have some very heavy family karma that I feel like you've done a great job. You've really done a great job, pile number 2. I just want you to know that, working through that and transforming that. I feel like you've done, and maybe you felt very different than your family. Okay. Maybe, it's like this, pile number 2. If you were born into a family of farmers with, I don't know, like a 3rd grade reading level, and you don't want to take over the farm, and you don't want to stay in the small town or the small hometown with the people who are very like old school and traditional and very closed-minded. Like, you want to go live in a bigger city. You want to go try new things. You want to be involved in a multicultural community. You want to be able to express yourself and your creativity and who you are without people looking at you like you're a weirdo. But at the same time, I feel like what you did gain from your family is this sense of, well, I should take care of the people I love. And sometimes that's at a heavy cost, but I'm loyal and I'm willing to do that for the people that I love. And that attitude actually is what helps you to be successful in life and keep your commitments, even if you really aren't like your family that much, pile number 2, okay? Even if you are very different, there is something about like the work ethic or the commitment to something or commitment to making things last that I feel like is very important to you. And I bring up, farming. Perhaps some of you had came from backgrounds where your family had a lot of land or owned a lot of land, or perhaps, you struggled to find a place to live, and you were because Saturn can indicate poverty, or it was very hard to find a place to live because there wasn't any money there, or money to be made, or money to be earned, right? But I feel like you guys have like really lifted yourself out of those circumstances. And, I'm getting something about math and pie charts and graphs and school and all kinds of stuff. Pile number 2, maybe some of you hated math or loved math or were good at it, or weren't good at it. Okay. But I'm just getting some energy about that. And the 6 of Pentacles is very like, not ruthless, definitely not ruthless, but very talented, creative, and good at making money off one's talents and abilities. And I feel like you're multi-talented. Pile number 2, you have multiple skills that you can do. And you're also very sensitive and emotional with the 2 of Cups. Okay. And you are very committed to those that you love, but some of you just could have come from a very hard background, I feel, pile number 2. Okay. And it can be hard to let go of those, and here's the thing, soulmate only. You have many soulmates who will be great for you. There's not just one. Okay. And I feel like, you guys have a stubborn side to you. And once you fall for someone with the 2 of Cups, like it's all that you see. Okay. Or it's all that it's like, it has to be this person. We have all this time and history and investment into one another, and it couldn't possibly be anyone else. And I feel like you guys are people, you don't like giving up on people. You don't like, you like to give situations the time to explore what they could be, is what I feel. Okay. And once your heart gets focused on something, it's very hard for you to let that go. And some of you may feel like, yeah, I only have one soulmate, or there's only one person that I've met in my entire life that felt like it was right. And it felt absolutely perfect with that person. 2 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. And I met this person when I was very young. And look at, I was kept talking about a farm, and look at these two. They're in a field of flowers or grass growing around them. And there's all this natural beauty, rivers and mountains behind them, and butterflies. And maybe some of you did fall for someone really deeply when you were younger, but time just really didn't allow you to explore those feelings. Like there was a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion and a lot of depth there. Okay. But perhaps some of you felt that the connection would have held you back from exploring other things in life, or you couldn't stay there, or circumstances weren't helpful, or your family had to move, or they had to move or leave, or, you know, just things that caused, like it wasn't with Saturn, it can be about timing, right? But it's like, it's this one person that I always felt like they were the one and no one else is going to be that one except for them. Interesting, pile number 2. We have necromancer here, trying to bring back something to life that is dead. Amidst the whispers of the dead, where mysteries are spread, what should have been gone still remains. Okay, what should have been gone still here remains. And holding on to something that is dead, or trying to revive something that has passed in time, you know, yeah, maybe some of you feel like, you know what, Natalie, I met my soulmate years ago and the timing wasn't right. And I ended up leaving and I became successful and I pursued this path in my life, but I never stopped thinking about that person and the fact that we should have been, you know, together type thing. And this can be where we're uncomfortable stepping outside of the boundaries of what we know. So we keep trying to revive something that is dead and gone, because it feels easier and we already know that person and we've invested a lot of energy in it. So this is interesting. We have anger. Yeah, and this is coming out underneath the Imam Cheli, the root of things, okay? And your expectations are not met, creating frustration. Express it in a healthy way. And again, this could have to do, because the 4th house in astrology has to do with our family, okay? And limiting circumstances, frustrating people that have a hard time growing and changing, and, you know, just saying, I'm pissed off because my expectations around something were not met. And I also feel some of you could have a lot of old karma with a fire sign with the Page of Wands here, perhaps a sibling, a brother or a sister who has like fire sign energy, somebody who could have an explosive temper, or someone who stayed back in your hometown, but you left, and there's anger about leaving, okay? And people always trying to bring up old issues or bring things up that have already been thought about, or have already been, you know, like continuing to bring up old anger, old issues, and fight with a person that it's like, man, we've always had issues. I don't know why that relationship is so difficult. It's so challenging. It's just frustrating. It doesn't go anywhere and it runs so deep. And maybe you feel like this person from your family is like jealous of your success, or is, you know, like pissed that you left and that you didn't stay, or that you went elsewhere or did something else with your life. okay? Or that you just seem lucky sometimes, or that you're doing well and they're not, okay? There could just be issues around that. Your expectations are not met, creating frustration. And, when we go really deep with people and we really emotionally bond with someone, but then that's taken away from us, or that is like not respected and returned, yeah, that can create a lot of, anger. And somebody who continues to bring up old issues all the time, trying to fight with you about it, okay? Pile number 2, and this is someone from your family, I strongly, strongly feel, okay? I feel there's actually 2 people in this reading. I feel there is this soulmate, this person that when you were younger or that you met, it felt like something really deep and emotional. And since then, you just haven't connected with anybody. And maybe you think, that's my soulmate, I guess. I'm not going to meet anyone else, right? And then also this person from your family who I feel like you guys care about this person, but they're always bringing up old issues, or there's always anger, fighting, or competition between you and this person. And there is karma there that does need to be released. And I feel like what you guys are saying is, Natalie, I don't get why this person is such a hater, okay? And with the 6 of Pentacles and 2 of Cups, maybe it seems like things are easy for you, or things happen easy for you. I mean, reality check, things haven't been easy for you, pile number 2. I just think the way that you've handled things has been different than this person. And people who keep trying to reanimate the same arguments over and over and over again, man, that gets old, doesn't it, pile number 2? That gets real tiring. And we have jealousy. Yeah, people trying to start fights with you out of jealousy, pile number 2. Okay, and it says jealousy. Your past wounds need healing. Work on self-love. You are far greater than you know. And yeah, a jealousy leading to anger, bringing up old issues, things that maybe should have been gone a long time ago, or still really deeply rooted within. And maybe some of you heard that that soulmate that you really cared about has moved on, or gotten married and is off to, a successful life, or has kids. And it's like, whatever, like, what about me? What about my life? Okay. And this is where we can keep bringing up old dead issues to ourselves too. Like, we can keep rehashing shit in our head over and over and over again. And all it is doing is kind of like harming ourselves rather than helping. We have clock. Okay. Yeah. With Saturn, it takes time, to get over things. We aren't going to blink our eyes and then have things just be perfect tomorrow. Things take time to heal. Things happen in cycles. Okay. And with Saturn, it can be a very, very long cycle. And I feel like some of these like generational issues in your family, like they have been going on for many, many cycles of jealousy and anger, and people bringing up old issues, and, people engaging in the oppression Olympics, like, oh, I had it harder than you. Don't tell me this. Don't, that type of stuff. That is definitely, I feel like what you're seeking on an internal level is lightness and less heaviness on a deep internal level. And maybe some of you don't even like talking about your family that much, or you don't even like talking to them that much, or you go out of your way like to avoid the issue because it's so heavy and sad, or it's so painful and traumatizing that it's like, I just need some time, you know, I need some time away from this. I need some time away from these people, from my hometown, from, you know, I remember pile number 2 when I would go home to my hometown and visit after I had left. It just, if I was there more than 2 or 3 days, I would get really, really depressed, you know, and just something about the energy there was very, very heavy, like personally in my own hometown. So I know how that is. And oftentimes when that energy is like that, it's because there's just been dead cycles that have just been going on and on and on. And it's like you go back and the same energy is just playing itself out over and over again. And yeah, and I can see why you guys are like, no thanks, I need some time away. You know, and I feel like over time, you've really made progress in your life, pile number 2, because of your curiosity, because of your ability to go and try new things and take on new perspectives. Perhaps some of you have a lot of skills or are very artistic in a lot of ways. Because you're open to new experiences, 2 of Cups, and you're very talented, 6 of Pentacles, and you're not afraid to take a risk, Page of Wands. I feel like, you know, you've grown a lot. And sometimes we go out in the world and we find out, oh my God, the whole world is disappointing, or the whole world is, you know, sad, or I'm trying to do better for myself in my life, but it's so hard because I feel the intensity like weighing me down, right? It just takes time. I feel like pile number 2, it takes time, my loves. We have planning, Machu Picchu, Peru. Oh my God, maybe some of you have wanted to go to Machu Picchu or visit Machu Picchu. But, you know, taking a trip like that and planning for that, that takes a lot of time, right? And I'm drawn to all the complexities inside the village, inside the area, okay? It takes a long time if you're trying to build up the land or grow the land or harvest the land or build a society. Man, that takes a lot of planning and a lot of time to get that done, okay? And a lot of things that, and again, like I said earlier, I think you guys know that you're in it for the long haul, and that, you know, putting a lot of time and effort and planning into things is very important in order for them to be successful, and not giving up on things right away if they're not absolutely perfect and totally successful right away, that we give ourselves the time to kind of plan what we're gonna do here. We have Snake Spirit, time to heal. Wow, interesting. Okay, pile number 2, if you have felt that people are against your plans or not supportive of your plans, perhaps it is time to do that on your own. But we have a lot of, you know, jealousy, anger, people trying to bring up old issues, okay, disadvantages due to family status, okay, jealousy about somebody's life going easy, and it was so hard for me and it took so much time for me. A lot of these things coming up here in your reading, pile number 2. And I wanted to see if I can find my book on that snake. Actually, what's interesting is we are in the year of the snake in 2025. We are actually that in the Chinese year of the snake. Okay. And I'm going to read you guys a little bit about it here. All of us need healing, and at times when the snake spirit appears, it's time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care, maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself space to flourish. Vulnerability is needed for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising within you. Yeah, it's a good time to make new plans and reset cycles right now, pile number 2. And if you feel like you're just resetting and starting over, don't be jealous maybe of people that are farther along, just because I feel like you're a person who needs to continually shed your skin and try new things and try things over again. And that's just your nature. That's part of who you are. And you don't need to compare yourself to other people in that, okay? This may be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you and within those you care about and within your community. Celebrate together how far all you have come in your healing journey and all that you have created. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports your wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, well-being, and open the door for healing to begin. No matter how much you may have lost or how much you have been disappointed. Yeah, Saturn coming up multiple times here. You are called by Snake Spirit to shed the past and practice radical acceptance now. Only by forgiving yourself can you move on, regardless of whether anyone else is ready for healing. Okay, when your tender new skin first becomes exposed, you may feel uncomfortable. Love yourself anyway. Now, this is definitely where, regardless of whether anyone else is ready for healing, okay? I love that line because there may be people that are trying to bring up old issues or trigger jealousy or trigger anger, pile number 2, but at the end of the day, you're in control of yourself. You have self-control over yourself, and it is time to heal, regardless of whether other people decide to take that journey or not. And I think it is a perfect time in the cycle of you to be doing this healing work and to face the parts of yourself that you'd like to reconcile, to work on developing healthy habits as far as routines go, and setting yourself up to flourish, okay? And it is time to come up with a plan to strategically move forward your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. And I know it's been hard. Pile number 2, I know it has been really hard, but I feel like you guys have already done a great deal of releasing karma, okay? I feel like you've already done a lot of work on that. And now you're entering in a new planning phase where you're going to have a lot of satisfaction and success, okay? 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, making deep emotional connections, doing well in your daily life, planning and structuring things in a way that feels comfortable for you, you know, not continuing to get triggered and get pulled into, you know, reviving old issues or old grudges, or thinking in a limited way that, you know, you met your one soulmate and it's never going to happen again. Like, we're definitely in a planning phase right now, pile number 2 for you. And so there's a lot of shedding of the old that is needing to happen right now. But I feel like it's going to feel really refreshing, really light and happy. Page of Wands, to get rid of that heaviness, okay? And we have throat chakra here. Excellent. Okay, so where you can release some tension and some trapped energy, perhaps through energy work, etc., is through your throat chakra. So let's take a deep breath together, pile number 1. Or pile number 2. I'm sorry, guys. When I'm channeling, I lose my mind. I can't. I'll say the weirdest stuff, but let's clear our minds, pile number 2, and let's take a calm, reassuring breath. Hold our heads high, okay? Reach our chins up to the sky. Turn our heads, okay? Give that neck a little stretch right where that throat chakra is stored. We got to stretch that neck, okay? Lift our head up a little bit, roll our shoulders, get some good breath going, okay? This is where we're working out the throat chakra. The throat chakra is supporting our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance, okay? And I love the Page of Wands for self-expression. You naturally very much have a very strong sense of self-expression that has the ability to magnetize others to you and produce really good results for you monetarily. And don't feel bad about that, pile number 2. Don't feel bad about the skills that you have. You have them for a reason. They're there for you to use, okay? And, you know, some planning, some time and some effort around how do I best express my truth? When is it going to be time for me to talk, right? Because I feel like there's been some things maybe that have been stuck in your throat or that you've been holding back from saying, and it may be time to finally say what you need to say, pile number 2, okay? So my darlings, that is what I am getting for you. Don't let fear hold you back, not now, not ever. Thank you so much, pile number 2, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Just get everything ready. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the goddess Diana, and today's reading is about releasing old karma. So pile number 3, I love the goddess Diana. Associated with the moon, with Virgo, all about focused intent. She always reminds me of Sagittarius too. She's got the arrows on her back, and she's ready to shoot those arrows with intention. Pile number 3, let's go ahead and see what we have here as far as releasing old karma. Can you show me for pile number 3, Spirit? Show me releasing old karma. What does that look like for pile number 3 here? What does releasing old karma look like here for pile number 3? Okay. The Page of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. Okay. And the 8 of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. We have debilitated and discomfort. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk, we have debilitated and dignified. So that is interesting because we have discomfort and we have strength. We have two different, we have opposite experiences, okay? We have discomfort when we're closed down and we're creating a lot of obstacles, or it feels like there's a lot of obstacles to get to where we're going. And it feels very complicated and it feels like the path is very overwhelming. When we are in a debilitated position and we're very uncomfortable, we don't feel at home with ourselves. We don't feel like we know ourselves in the way we feel like our path is very confusing with too many different routes to take. But when we're dignified, we feel like we're above the confusion and we're clear-headed and we've got one door, one thing that we're doing, one item that we're trying, one focus that we are trying to open up, okay? And we feel like we're very powerful and strong when we're in a dignified position. And let's see what we have here. We have fear of cheating. Wow. Okay. Not everyone cheats. You need to open your heart and trust your partner. Interesting. Okay. Not everyone is a cheater and an asshole and a motherfucker, okay, pile number 3. And not everybody, like some people are very open-minded, open-hearted, honest about what they're feeling, what they're thinking and feeling are in alignment. And, yeah, but sometimes we can put a lot of boundaries around ourselves because we are afraid of getting hurt, or we are just fearful that everyone is that quote unquote that way, and that we always are going to have to be suspicious or paranoid or on guard all the time, right? And so there is something about releasing some old karma and saying, you know what, this situation is not like past situations, okay? And perhaps the way that you were feeling in a relationship or around a certain person in your life, pile number 3, was really starting to get to you. Because I feel you're very sensitive, and some of you could be very sensitive in your body, in your physical health, your tummy, various parts of your nervous system. You're very sensitive and you feel things, and I feel you like to do really nice things for your friends or your partner. I feel like you guys are very considerate. Some of you may cook a lovely meal. Some of you may help somebody, give them a hand. I just feel like you are very loving and considerate towards, and helpful towards the people that you care about, but you've also been kind of hiding this part of yourself and focusing on, it's like, okay, this person, they don't know what they're saying. They like me and they're saying they want to get to know me, but it seems like they're all kind of messed up. And honestly, I don't really have time for that in my life. And since I've been focusing on myself and my work and doing nice things for friends and people that I care about, I don't really have time to put up with people who are confused or don't know what they're feeling, or, those people are usually cheaters and liars. And this could be this situation of not believing someone or not feeling comfortable around a particular person anymore, or not feeling comfortable around, potential romantic partners, period. You know what I mean, pile number 3? Like, just not feeling comfortable at all, period. You tell me that you like me, you tell me you're interested in me, you tell me you want to know how I'm feeling, or this type of thing. I don't know. I don't know. Like, that makes me uncomfortable, or, I've been around a lot of cheaters or liars, and I don't know if I can trust you. Say this is how you're feeling, but is that how you're really feeling? That can come up, and people can feel like that they're stronger by themselves, or that they'd rather be independent and on their own so that they can focus on, career, work, money, success, working on things in their life, and that having someone with a lot of feelings for you just overcomplicates things, because half the time they're liars, all right? So there could be this whole thing where it's like, I have a fear that this person is lying to me, not being truthful with me. We have ghost. Yeah, people all into everything. I like you, flirting, da-da-da-da-da, but really ghosting. In the realm of shadows, where memories are lost, the echoes of what is gone still haunts me the most, okay? The echoes of what is gone still haunts me the most. And I feel like you guys have become really confident about your work, or really confident about your ability to do good things in the world. You're like, oh, Natalie, like, my product that I offer is top tier. The advice that I give to others is top tier. The quality of the things that I'm working on is top tier. And I'm more confident in myself than ever. And as a result, I've become more guarded about letting somebody into my life who is wishy-washy and doesn't know what they want. And this could be, you know, being with people who lie about their feelings or say that they really like someone but really have no clue and then end up ghosting. And it's like, whatever, I don't have time for that. I'm doing really well in my life right now, and I don't want to be around confused people who just ghost others all the time. Like, I'm not into it, okay? And you may have a sneaking suspicion or be paranoid that people who do that are actually having multiple options and are cheating, okay? And maybe some of you here have even ghosted people before they can even ghost you, because it's like, truthfully, I don't know how I'm feeling about this person and I don't want to deal with it either. And so maybe some of you here have even ghosted people yourself because you're like, I feel paranoid and I don't really want to let anybody in right now, okay? And we have no boundaries, difficult to establish. No boundaries make it difficult to establish healthy respect. Take care to ensure your needs are met, okay? And this is where I feel like you guys have been doing so good, pile number 3. You've been doing great, and you're like, I can't believe that I ever went back to that person, or I can't believe that I ever gave that person a second chance. I would never do that anymore. I have definitely, you know, I feel like you guys have really done so much work around your boundaries, and I feel like you should be really proud of yourself, okay? But maybe now your boundaries have been so high, and perhaps that's because you've been with people who have like no boundaries with anything. And so now your boundaries have gotten so high in response to that. Okay, pile number 3, I get it. I do get it. We have narrow-minded. You have a limited outlook on perspective and thoughts. What makes you think that your thoughts are solid gold? Okay, so this can be where like you have a very stubborn, nobody's gonna get through my lie detector. I will find out if you're doing something fucked up, and I don't want to be put in a position to be paranoid anyway, okay? And so Spirit is talking about, but this is again where perhaps we've built walls that are very, very high, and we feel like everyone is a cheater. But it says here, not everyone cheats. You need to open your heart and trust your partner, okay? That's hard to do, though. That is really hard to do, but perhaps some of you are realizing, if I ever do want to be open to being with someone again, I will have to learn to trust again. And it's very hard because I feel like I've seen the signs of cheating. And if somebody does that around me, they're going to get the cold shoulder from me big time. Okay. And perhaps some of you have given some people the cold shoulder, or you've told them I'm busy, or I'm working, or I can't see you. Sorry. Okay. But this can be where we're having like very limited attitude because in the past we were too open, right? So we're working on finding balance with this. Pile number 3, we have palm tree, stability, okay, serenity, growth, endurance, flexibility, okay? And this is about feeling like we can rely on the people in our life, right? And maybe it's not just in romantic relationships. Maybe you've had friendships where they've been very unreliable, or you grew up in a family where the adults weren't very stable or secure, or didn't provide like a stable environment. Okay, a lot of wishy-washy, confused, disorganized, not showing up. You know, for those of you that had a parent that would sometimes be there and sometimes not be there, or just be wrapped up in their own emotional world, or very emotionally immature, or just physically absent a lot and not really good at providing stability. I feel like you guys have gotten really good at providing stability for yourself, but you've worked really hard for that. And we have Goddess Diana with focused intention of, you have made this an intention to focus on creating a stable environment. And yeah, and people who don't have any boundaries are not attractive to you. People who have don't have any boundaries, maybe we can get really, really close to them, like really, really soon. But I feel like you guys have figured out that doesn't create a sense of safety or security for the relationship. And oftentimes those situations crash and burn really quickly. Okay. And we have vitality here. Okay. And again, I really feel like your pile has to do with physical vitality as well. And perhaps some of you do need to be around like the palm trees and the sun, or you need more sunshine in your life, or you need a vacation. Because I do feel like you guys have been very busy and working very hard, and you're doing a really good job. And I do feel like, this is bringing a lot of recognition for your honor, integrity, character, and hard work. Pile number 3, good for you. And you know what? That is something that no one can take away from you. Your success, your hard work, your integrity, your character, really, I feel like really, really growing strong. And you've grown so much beyond this whole thing of not having any boundaries. You've learned to put yourself first and take care of yourself first, pile number 3, which was really important in getting you to where you are today. But you may feel like, well, yeah, I am really focused on my stability and myself and growing and what I'm doing and work and all of that, and appreciating myself for how far I've come. But it may feel like you focused on the self so much that you put up these high boundaries, and now it's kind of like, and some of it has been really, 90% of it, pile number 3, has been amazing to do, but 10% could have been out of fear. Okay. And maybe that's where the boundary is up a little bit too high, or we're getting a little too limited in our thinking at times. Okay. And some of you may have Sun square Neptune in your chart with this sun and then no boundaries here. And, figuring out where you end and others begin can be, hard, very challenging with Sun square Neptune. Okay. Some of you could have Sun in Virgo squaring Neptune in Sagittarius, or just stuff like that. I'm kind of feeling that energy here. Oh, you have Sun square Neptune, something like that in your own chart. All right. But because of those leaking boundaries and things like that, you've gotten really good at taking care of yourself and putting the right boundaries there and taking care of your health. Okay. We have squirrel here. Believe in yourself. Squirrel spirit. I love it. Let me see if I can find the little book with squirrel in it. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to check something about squirrel. It says the unpredictability of life can shake your confidence in yourself and your potential for handling the challenges that come your way. Does the thought of not having enough or being enough make you feel squirrely? Have you forgotten all your strengths, wisdom, and resources? You have come so far on your wits and creativity, making use of all your potential and all that Spirit presents to you to help you through life's trying times. It's time to look back on your life and remember how your needs have always been met for the highest good, even in your most challenging times. Life loves you, and so many treasures are hidden in plain sight, ready to be revealed when you most need them. So relax. Squirrel Spirit wants you to know that you are poised and ready for whatever is coming next, okay? Spirit has your back, definitely, and is protecting you. Pile number 3, okay? Life can be very unpredictable and can shake our faith in things. And what we're looking for is continuous vitality, continuous energy, and the ability to sustain what we've worked so hard for. And maybe in doing that, we can get a little bit fearful or narrow-minded at times in trying to protect that. Pile number 3, but I get while you're protecting it, Spirit is just telling you to relax a little bit, okay? You're still going to be great. We have crown chakra, love it, okay? And it's kind of funny because every pile got a different chakra. But perhaps some of you are releasing old karma with your crown chakra when it comes to faith or belief in something. Because sometimes it can feel like if we don't keep working or we don't keep defending, that everything is going to fall apart. And it can be from years of having to defend and push on our own, and simply allowing for a little bit of miracle or a little bit of belief to kind of open up and awaken us can be really hard sometimes. We can be fearful about losing our focus if we get too much in our crown chakra, if we let go and relax, or if we can have a fear that the answer is not going to be there when we let go, or that if we let go too much, we're going to spill over into having a boundaryless experience where we lose all the ground that we've gained. So pile number 3, I just want to encourage you, it's okay to let go into your crown chakra, let your crown chakra relax. I know I've had like a major issue with my crown chakra, pile number 3, especially health-wise. Like I've had so many headaches and so many problems with my own physical vitality, and a lot of it gets tied to fear and narrow-minded beliefs about what's available, right? And so I've gone through a lot of that myself, pile number 3, and it is a bitch to get over. It really is. But it does, we do need to focus on that crown chakra in your pile. Pile number 3, okay, we do need to release that tension and energy there. And, the crown chakra supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light, okay? And when that gets really blocked up, we can have headaches, we can have, our vitality can be very drained. We can feel like our psychic abilities are slipping, that we're having fear or anxiety and we don't know where it's coming from, or our head is really tingly or tingling a lot. These can all be indications that the crown chakra is going through something, pile number 3, okay? And Spirit is just saying, I know this has been difficult. It hasn't been easy. It's been hard on your physical vitality as well, but believe in yourself, okay? And we're going to get through this crown chakra stuff together. Pile number 3, if you've been watching my channel and you've been watching it for a while and you feel like you're due for a crown chakra upgrade, there is a lot of that is coming for you. And it does have to do with releasing old karma and where we have been narrow-minded, having a negative outlook, or, been in fear of something, okay? Really of losing what we've gained due to, uncertainty just pouring in, or a lack of boundaries, okay? So we'll get there together, pile number 3. We'll work on this together, and we will find stability. We will find growth, okay? And we will find out that we are a lot more flexible than we ever thought. So pile number 3, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. I wish you the very best. Take care.